Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Abby Pitcock.
I'm Adam Burrow.
And I'm Isabella Mancini.
And today we'll be discussing tips for online interviewing.
Online interviews are becoming much more common in today's business world. In fact, according to Recruiter.com, 63% of companies are using some sort of technology in their hiring process. So this means that even if your interview isn't over the phone or online, some aspect of your hiring process will be.
Companies have been utilizing technologies like Skype, Zoom, or even a traditional phone call for these interviews. Although that adds an ease of convenience, there are some challenges associated with online interviewing.
Today we have 4 tips for you to help you on your next virtual interview, including the first tip, which is checking your technology.
The second tip, which is controlling your surroundings.
The third tip, establishing the right mindset.
And the fourth tip, which is maintaining proper body language and voice. The first tip is to make sure that you check your technology. These systems aren't always incredibly intuitive and can usually not work well unexpectedly. So make sure that you check your Wi-Fi, your microphone, and your video camera to make sure they're working properly. You can even do a practice run and call a friend or a family member to get used to the technology and also to calm down a little bit.
Tip number 2 is to control your surroundings. Remember, because you get to choose where you are, you want to make sure that it presents the best and most professional aspect of yourself. So minimize distractions so that you're not distracted, but also the person interviewing you is not. So when thinking about what you want to wear, avoid flashy colors, patterns, or accessories. Take for what I'm wearing, for example. I'm wearing a neutral color. Also, you want to pick a neutral background. Be cognizant of the lighting. You want to make sure that you are in a well-lit and not distracting environment. Additionally, you want to turn off any kind of electronic device that might make a noise. So turn off a radio or your TV and make sure that you silence all of your cell phone or tablets. Additionally, try to avoid having other people in the room. You want to make sure that you don't have other people talking in the background and even pets. If you can move them to a separate location, that would be the best. You want to make sure that you are able to 100% focus on your interviewer and that your interviewer can focus on you.
Tip number 3 is to establish the right mindset. Just like you would at the beginning of a normal in-person interview, you need to shake their hand. Now obviously you can't do this when you're doing a video chat. However, you do need to make sure you have some sort of greeting to start the conversation off right. Oftentimes when we're chatting online, we can get pretty casual with the other person. You have to remember that this is an interview, and as such, you should maintain proper vocabulary and make sure that you're not getting too informal with your interviewer. Another important thing to think about when you're approaching your online interview is that an interview is a two-way conversation. The other person will certainly have questions that they want you to answer, but be sure to talk with them back and forth so that it's not so one-sided. After all, you want to make sure that this company is the right fit for you, so make sure you interview them as well and ask them questions that you're interested in learning about.
And our last tip is on body language and voice. You want to make sure that you have proper body language with good posture. Don't use a swivel chair as that might be distracting and you've moved the lower half of your body. You also want to convey interest to the interviewer, so show enthusiasm. Speak clearly and loudly like I am right now, and smile. If this can be confusing, you might want to try practicing beforehand as well.
We've covered a lot of information today. Let's review the tips we discussed.
Tip 1, check your technology. Make sure everything is running properly so you can focus on giving a great interview.
Tip 2, control your surroundings. You want to minimize distractions for yourself and for your interviewer.
Tip number 3, establish the right mindset. Remember, it's an interview, not a one-way conversation.
And tip 4, make sure you check your body posture and voice so you can convey enthusiasm and interest to your interviewer.
We hope these tips have been helpful for you in your next interview, and we want to thank you so much for listening.